All right, so what is a steward of the Walkway? I'll just tell you a quick story. When the bridge was being built, there was this great campaign, and as I said, I think 5 people at the Dyson Foundation helped staff it, and a number of consultants and folks, and it was called the Build a Bridge campaign. And there were lots of donor recognition levels for the Build a Bridge campaign, and one of the ones was these bronze medallions that were going to be put into the concrete out on the walkway. So as you walked along, you'd see who donated. Well, about a year ago, the former park manager and I finally managed to get these things ordered, and we went out in the walkway and trying to figure out where to put them, and a couple things struck us. One is they were going to get trashed, because they were going to get scraped by shoes. And parks, being operational, first and foremost, said we're not going to be able to shovel the snow in the winter with these discs sticking up. So they went back to their drawing board, and we went back to our drawing board and sort of came up with something together. And Oleg, one of the engineers up at Statsburg, came up with this great idea that we would mount them out on the railings. And you've all seen them out there on the railings, and it ended up being even better than we had thought. So that is story one, and that is how our stewards who give donations of $10,000 and above are recognized with the beautiful engraved bronze medallion. So we will get to those. I'll just set them right, we'll just put them right here. So then, another story is that there was going to be benches on the walkway. It's so interesting when you look back at the history, because some people saw and still see the walkway as a place with plants and shade structures and picnic tables, a real park in the sky. Well, when it opened and hundreds of thousands of people more came than we had anticipated, it really started being a walkway. And bikers and joggers and strollers and rollerbladers, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's really a walkway. Now we're not so sure we can put up picnic tables and shade structures and all of these things. So it's been a really wonderful process of balancing, keeping it safe, keeping it secure, making sure the parks can operate it, making sure cyclists like Jeff, who commute to work from Highland over to Poughkeepsie every morning, have this wonderful opportunity, and it's open. So we were in a committee, we were in a bench committee for a long time, and one of the park staff happened on a gentleman in Massachusetts who had purchased tons of the reclaimed joists from the Coney Island boardwalk. And this was a wood called Ipe wood that came up in the early 1900s, around 1920, and they built the Coney Island boardwalk. And when they finally had to replace it and they tore it up, he bought these large chunks of this wood because he said you can't get reclaimed wood that's 12 feet, that's 18 feet long by 4 feet deep, and it's heavy wood. To make a long story short, those are the benches that you'll see out on the walkway that are made from that recycled wood. We designed the benches, and those benches, there's 6 out in the middle that have an individual name on them, are the private donors or the public-private entities that contributed $50,000 or more to the bridge. And the Noon Foundation is out there with their bench, the Dyson Foundation, M&T Bank, is Julie Krieger here, but M&T Bank is out there, IDA is out there, Catherine Maloney's here representing them. And who am I forgetting? Scenic Hudson, of course, who also has the gate for their $1 million donation. So, and Amy Goldman, a private donor as well. So we've got these wonderful 6 people. They've got their benches. And right when we were ordering the benches, I got a call from a woman, a lovely woman named Wanda Reese. And she said, I've been out on the walkway, and I think my husband would have loved it, and I think I'd like to do something for him. So I said, well, we've got these benches, and in a phone conversation, I sort of made up this bench plaque, and she was the first one to purchase a plaque on the benches. So the benches that aren't individual donors, for donors of $5,000 and above, there you see the plaques on the benches. So Wanda's one of those, and she's going to tell her story in a minute. So I'm going on a bit, apologize. But we've got stewards, and I want to read each of your names, and I want to tell you on the back of your program is the list of the folks that you're joining that gave to the Build a Bridge campaign. So out there on the walkway now are 36 bronze medallions, and we are thrilled to add 6 more today to that group. And we will be adding discs today. They'll be mounted like this, and I apologize for the weather. We just didn't know if we'd be able to go out, so we didn't want to have them out there and have you not be able to see your medallion. So today we will install one from the Feinberg family in memory of Michael David Feinberg. Is there anything else? Thank you so much. Two other supporters of Things in the Hudson Valley, Michael Fleischer and Michael Dupree, who weren't able to be here today, but we'd like to give them a round. Fred Osborne is one of our Taconic commissioners, and Fred is great because Fred's riding his bike here all the time, and he's also a commissioner. He and his wife, Annie, and Fred Osborne III, and the Easter Foundation will be receiving a medallion today as well. One of the folks that got involved early on and then became a board member is John Stork. And John couldn't be here because of the holidays, but Beth and John Stork and the Stork family also receive a medallion today. And then we have our wonderful creative team that's put their brains and knowledge into helping us sort of build our brand and tell people who we are. You know, we're only really a year and a half old organization in terms of our current staff and staff of 3. So we're still pretty young, and we really are so blessed by all these people that keep coming to us with people of talent and people of commitment. And Alex Tuller and Dean Temple are the principals for Drake Creative, and they are receiving a medallion today. And now when you go on to www.walkway.org, you see our brand spanking new website that we're so thrilled to have. We're thrilled the way it looks. It's user friendly, invites people to become a part of the community. So check it out, and you can think of Alex and Dean. And then my last medallion was a phone call that I was thrilled to get, or maybe it was an email from Adam Rose. And Adam told me a little bit about his story, having come up here and seen the walkway and realizing it's a great destination. And Adam R. Rose and Peter R. McQuillan have made their donation, and they're our last medallion for today. So let's give them a hand. Okay, so those are the discs and the 3 bench plaques. I'll just tell a little bit about those. What's right here? Karen Whiting was our, Whiting, sorry, Karen. First there was Wanda Rice, and we sort of made up this idea and did these stainless steel plaques, and she'll tell you about that. Then Karen Whiting, I get a check, and I'm like, who's Karen Whiting? And Joyce says, oh my gosh, she's one of our ambassadors. So not only is she a volunteer and an ambassador, but obviously a committed donor, and we are so grateful to you for your contribution and welcome you to a steward of the walkway. Thank you, Karen. And then I think I got an email from Mr. Gordon, Bruce Gordon, and he also thought it might be a good way to do something wonderful in the memory of his wife, Mimi Acker Gordon. And she was a cyclist, lived in Rhinebeck. Lived in Poughkeepsie, and didn't get to ride on the bridge, but as Bruce put on her plaque, she would have loved the river and loved cycling here. So thank you so much. That'll be a plaque, and they are installed out on the benches, and we'll be able to look at those. Thank you very much.